Here we are, episode number 13 on Iron Mind, the podcast that's going to blow your mind. I am Adrian. I am the host of this program, and today we'll talk about something that I believe you viewers and you listeners have done once in your life. It's porn. We will talk about porn. We're going to talk about, is it good for you? Is it bad for you? The addiction, the non-addiction, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. We're going to talk about all of that. All of it, sorry. But before we keep on rolling, remember to subscribe and like and share with some friends. More we have people into this YouTube channel, more we have people into the Spotify channel, more I can bring guests and make this podcast even more interesting and even more connected to what we're going to talk about. So today is porn addiction. We're going to talk about what I study, what I look around on the internet, all the data around porn, and hopefully I can help you understand that porn is not bad if you do not interfere that into your life, right? It's like once upon a time, if you do it, all good, nothing wrong. But this, as soon as they affect your life, your mind, your relationship is where we need to work on maybe reducing a little bit of porn. But today we're going to talk about that. And I think it's an interesting topic because me, Adrian Rodriguez, I think I have an addiction, not just to porn. I would say like I have a high drive, a sexual drive, and sometime, quite often, and Chris Williamson said that on one of his podcasts. He was saying, boys, I don't know if girls work the same, but boys quite often is pulsion of like, I want sex right now, and sometimes you will text someone that you are not really attracted to, but before you text, you do a little wank and you realize, oh, okay, I was just horny right now. I don't want anything else than just having my little dopamine release by doing a little wank. And then that's how we work, boys. It's like we are animals. We are like a little bit less educated around horniness and pulsion than women are more aware to control. Not every woman, but most of the women can control their pulsion a little bit better because they have a different approach towards sexuality than men. But yeah, Chris Williamson was saying quite often you have like this horniness moment or this pulsion of like having sex, and you think about someone, you're about to text the person, but before you text the person, you decide to to do the job, and then you have no need to have sex with another person. You're like, okay, that's done. So that's a true reality about pornography in men's. Now there is some stats here, very interesting stats. 60 to 61% of the population had used porns. Means that is a base of 4 to 5 billion people who have used porn. It's a lot. And no wonder why this industry makes so much money, because there is so many people using it daily. It's incredible. Basically, there is another stat here, which is 200 million people are using porn daily. Now, one thing that is really interesting to know as well is 30% of internet traffic is I always have one word that I'm struggling with. But 30% of all internet traffic is related to porn. Fucking insane. One of the major website used, let's say Pornhub, for example, if you are familiar with the porn website, Pornhub, there is 40 plus billion visits per year. 40 plus billion. We are 8 billion people in this world. It's insane. It's insane to, I mean, like I know that there is some people who use porn, but you don't realize how many people do it until I've done those little study around. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, like I do understand now why people who's got an OnlyFans or who's doing a Pornhub page or whatnot, they get so much money because it's, how can I say that? It is so easy those days to release this dopamine by doing a little wank somewhere. Like I remember when I was a young kid and internet wasn't at the high speed that we've got those days. Let's say you want to upload a picture on internet of a woman naked, it was so long. So you didn't have time. You were like, oh, well, I lose interest now, and you were moving on. Which now is like, fuck, I'm horny. I can go on my phone straight away on a small screen, watch. And that's one thing I find that crazy. If you think about it, we are having a little pleasure watching other people having sex, and your brain react as, okay, I'm gonna have sex now. It's crazy to think that. It's crazy to think that your brain is like, when you watch porn, your brain have the same effect than when you have sex with someone. How crazy is that when you think about it? When you all the feeling you've got before you do your little affair, your wank, is basically you're like all the feeling you would have when you are starting having a bit of play with someone, foreplay and everything with someone, is all those little effects. So your brain is connected to porn like that now. It's more like, okay, I'm gonna go on porn and I'm gonna have sex. No, you don't have sex, man. It's it's crazy how your brain is always insane for me to think that we arrive in a stage where the brain is saying we have sex to your body by watching a little screen like that. Insane, eh? There is a quote, guys, from an anonymous person, and this quote is actually related to any type of addiction. It's not just porn, but is related to any type of addiction. The quote starts with, "You don't get over an addiction by stopping using. You recover by creating a new life where it's easier to stop it." Very true reality. So you don't get over an addiction by stopping it. You recover by creating a new life where you can stop it easier. Does that make sense? If I take my example, when I was playing rugby, I was, I don't want to say an alcoholic, but I enjoyed alcohol too much. I went into some phases of drinking a lot of alcohol every weekend. And then I shift into the fitness industry. And when I shift into the fitness industry, I lost this interest of being wasted every weekend. I was like, I lost friends. I lost interest on drinking alcohol. I create a new life, a healthier life. Then I was like, that's a waste of my time going and drink every single night. Don't tell me wrong. I love having a little gin and tonic with some of my friends casually, not every single weekend. But being wasted is something I hate so much. And probably because I did it so many times when I was younger. That's probably that. But the quote is, you don't get over an addiction by stopping using. You recover by creating a new life where it's easier not to use it. And that's what happened. It's like by being in the fitness industry, I realized, and when I was drinking it, my fitness journey was way harder. My recovery was way harder. My body was way more sore. And then I stopped step by step. And that's true. By creating a new life, you stop your addiction. So it's the same with porn. By if you have a relationship with someone, instead of going in having sex with a screen, if I can say that like that, why not creating the pulsion and creating the desire on your partner by texting and say, hey, I really want you right now. Or, like being a little bit more playful with your partner. And it's what I say to, who did I say that to? I say that to someone. Yesterday, I say that to someone, to one of my clients, someone who come to my class. I say a relationship is like a full-time job. You need to work for it. And I think a lot of people think a relationship is granted all the time. They believe, oh, I don't have to work for my partner. I don't have to work for a desire. I don't have to explore with my partner anymore. And that's where 90% of the time the relationship doesn't work well. And that's one thing I realized as well. I realized then, the day I have a relationship with someone, I would work it out so much. I would not go into a habit, oh, we do that every Friday, we do that. No, I would try to create something that every single day I would be excited to explore with my partner, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's move on into the topic. The cause. Why do we go do some porn and stuff like that? First of all, is a dopamine rush. Intense dopamine hit is reinforcing a habit loop. Basically, when you get your dopamine level up, you feel good. Remember, the dopamine is an hormone that makes you feel good. and it's what's happened with masturbation or porn is a 5 minute of pleasure, is a 5 minute of work for an intense pleasure. So dopamine is one of the reason why we are doing it, is because the dopamine is a hormone that make you feel good, and basically we have this rush of dopamine during the day, and sometimes is what create the horniness of it, and you like go on your porn website, wank, and you feel instantly good, but you also have like this little thing after. I would talk a little bit about the negative part about porn. You also have the accessibility of a high speed internet, is what I said to you before. When I was younger, if you upload the pictures of a naked woman, it was those lines like toot, toot, and it was like very slow. You have the forehead, and then a little bit more of the forehead, and then the eyes, and I remember like it never really happened to me, and luckily. But imagine that, like imagine you have like you are like a 15 years old kid, and you waiting for this picture, and when you arrive to the chest level of the woman, if I'm a man or a girl, I don't know what you girls are interested in a man watching it. But for us, when we were young, it was like if you see two beautiful boobs, if I can say the word, you were like, oh, wow, that's so incredible. But imagine when you arrive to the line of the boobs, boom, your mom come in or your dad come in. What are you doing? It's like, holy shit, it's stressful. Yeah, so the accessibility, like high internet, is way easier to get there. And yeah, yeah, that basically is the reason why. It's like you have those pulsion, you can go on internet in 5 seconds, it's fixed and done. And you think it's good for you, but there is some side effect and some consequences of um, porn. Porn. The question is porn bad? Porn is not bad if you can control it, if it doesn't affect your life. Now, the question you should ask yourself is, does porn affect my personal life in a negative way? And when I say in a negative way, it can be some mental health issues, some physical issues, some brain change, and unrealistic expectations. If I think about the mental health, increased anxiety, depression, and low self esteem, quite often, I don't know if that's happened to you, you release a little bit, you feel good, and then you're like, fuck, I wish I didn't do that. You feel a bit bad about yourself. You have the physical issue when you watch porn. If I take as a man, I mean, for women, it's the same thing. You would be seeing women with incredible body and beautiful boobs, beautiful bum or whatever, and that would make you feel uncomfortable. For men, is like the size of the thing. I'm sorry, it's raining right now, but the size of the thing, you're gonna be like, fuck. Am I average? Am I good? Am I? You question yourself, and that's gonna affect your brain. You're gonna affect your. For the men, your erection can be a problem, because when you have sex with someone, you think more about what did she think? Did she think it's big enough? Is that ridiculous? Am I, and then boom, you go down. For men, I don't know about women. Women can be, yeah, it can be the same thing. It's like, oh, did they like my boobs? Did they like my bum? Am I looking good? Am I facial too expressive? Plenty of stuff. And then the unrealistic expectation is if you watch, let's say, hard porn, and then you go on a relationship with someone that just doesn't like that, and you expect that, you expect, oh, I'm gonna do some hard porn, hard sex with my partner. This is not fucking sex. Porn, it's not sex. And don't tell me wrong, sometimes having like a bit of like porn fantasy, doing some, like a little bit more dominant or whatever fantasy you have, fetishist or whatnot, do it sometime. But porn, it's not sex. Making love to someone, it's not porn. In my personal opinion, I think having sex with someone and having zero connection is boring as fuck. When you have connection with someone, is incredible. When you have a great connection in bed with someone, you don't need fucking porn anymore. You don't need to go to porn and feel good about yourself and wanking and boom, here we are. No, I don't think is yeah. Again, personal opinion, is it the right thing to say to you guys? Probably not, probably yes, I don't know. But yeah, the question you should ask yourself, instead of saying, oh, porn is bad, I need to stop everything, is like, does porn affect my personal life in a negative way by mental health, physical issue, brain change, unrealistic expectation? 5 bad thing about porn: it can impact your relationship, become a habit, fuel violence and abuse. Porn perpetuate racism and toxic stereotype. And porn harm sexual performance or make people more sexual illiterated. So if I explain to you, impact your relationship. Some in a relationship that start watching porn frequently and begin to compare themselves or their partner to what they see, they are not as excited anymore. Let's say if you are like into, I don't know, I have no you are into fit woman and your partner is not that fit, but you are having wanking, sorry, into fit person. When you go in bed with your partner is not what you have, and then you start being like losing interest about her. And it's so stupid because fuck, having sex with someone is such incredible moment and connection and feelings. What you see on those websites, and I'm watching porn, so I cannot blame you, but what you see on those websites is not true. It's not what you want. So yeah, it can affect your relationship, and it can affect your intimacy with your partner. um it's going to create a bit of distance, some less communication, and you will hurt feelings saying, oh yeah, but you're not fit enough and that's what I want. But it's not what you choose for. Like, it's not the, you don't choose this person for that. You choose the person because you have an amazing connection with. And then sex can involve with communication. I think if you communicate with your partner and say what you like, what she like, and then make it work. Fuck, I should be a sexologue. I should be a sexologue. Become a habit. Watching porn as a daily routine. So let's say you go to bed at night and you have to wank, otherwise you don't sleep well. That creates a bad habit, because the day you cannot wank, let's say you're in a room uh, with someone, and then you like really need to wank because that's the way you go to bed. It can affect you. It can affect you because you're gonna have a bad sleep and whatever. But you don't need those stuff to go to sleep. It's like the magic pill to put you asleep. No, you don't need those pills to go to sleep. You need to create a habit of waking up slightly early, having some daylight, morning daylight, um, delay your caffeine level. All of that's going to help you to have a good sleep at the end. People will tell you, "Oh, I cannot sleep well at night." If you watch their routine, quite often it's not the greatest one. So having a habit of wanking every night, if you are in a hotel room with a colleague or whatever, because you're on a trip for a meeting somewhere, I don't know, and you cannot have your wank, you would be stressed and you won't have a great sleep, basically. Fuel violence and unhealthy behavior. Yeah, as I say to you, quite often you see in porn some people being a little bit more violent and more brutal with the partner, and you're gonna start doing that thinking is how sex work. But as I say to you, sex is not all about like what you see on pornography. Sex is about communication. Sex is about connection with your partner. Sex is about feeling. Sex is about the moment. So instead of like preparing what you're gonna do, just fucking enjoy every second of it. Fucks. It's where I am addicted to sex, because it's such an incredible thing. I think it's such an is vulnerable, is on the same time confidence. I don't know how to explain that, but sex is beautiful. So yeah, violence and unhealthy behavior of like, oh, I don't know, I'm gonna split on you or what. Who the fuck do that? I mean, I had experiences in the past with a woman, and that's personal, but who asked me, "Can you split on me?" Or I also had a woman say, "Can you pee on me?" And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" So, like there's stuff that doesn't resonate with me too much. But yeah, there is the stuff. Now, perpetuate racism and toxic stereotype. This one is an interesting one. Some porn category focus on racial stereotype, like ebony, whatever, or also on group stereotype like LGBT or whatever. So means that when you're gonna see those people, is what you're gonna refer is, let's say a black person. Let's say if you're into black person, when you see a black person in the street, you are thinking about your fantasy of having sex with a black person, and you don't really think about anything else, which it create also a bit of racism, because you're gonna be like, I don't know if I want to have sex with a black person. Like it is crazy. So a viewer might unconsciously start associating people from those group with those stereotypes, which affect how they see or treat other people in real life. Harmful sex performance and create misinformation. A person who watch a lot of porn may expect sex look like or feel like a certain way, like what you see in porn. In real life, they might struggle with performance anxiety and feel confused when things don't match their expectation of what they see, leading to a disa- disas- dissatisfaction and insecurity. Fuck me. English is hard. English is hard. An important note, not everyone who watch porn experience those stuff, but they are common and risk when used to become frequent and realistic and uncritical. So they can be risky if that's happened. Now, guys, I want you to understand that having a little wank sometimes is not a bad thing, and you don't have to shame or feel bad about yourself doing it. Is normal. Now you can do it in a different way instead of like, I mean, if you're single, it's different, right? But instead, if you're in a relationship, I think you should start playing with your partner when you have those pulsion and building up to what's going to happen at nighttime or in a lunchtime break or before we wake up. Build this tension with your partner is so much more interesting than fucking say, I'm going to wank and move on. No, you would be way more satisfied when you're going to do it with your partner and have an incredible time. For the people who are single, having a little pleasure sometime is not a bad thing, knowing that in the generation we are living in, having sex with someone is getting harder and harder every day, because of like, I think the way we approach relationship, the way we approach dating is a bit fucked up. So obviously, like quite often, and that's a true thing, people say if you have sex with someone after the first date, they put you in a case of like, I'm not seeing this person. If you wait a little bit longer, some people are like more interested into you, and then that's where you create a relationship. And I think it's important to be patient on those moments. So yeah, wanking is not a big deal. When you feel ashamed that it affects your mental health, your body, um, that's where it's getting dangerous. That's where you start being vulnerable and then antisocial, and then fuck is not pleasant. So there is few things that I can give you guys to control your pulsion instead of going straight away into wanking or going on a website. There is few points here. The points are very simple. Point number one, key number one, understand your trigger. Most people don't watch porn randomly. They are tied to something. Boredom, stress or anxiety, loneliness, late night on your phone. When do you feel the urge? What are you doing? When you feel that you need to, what are you doing? Are you bored? Are you in your bed scrolling on Instagram? All the stuff. Sorry, it's raining quite heavily. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah. So understanding your trigger. Don't rely on willpower alone. Willpower fades fast. Make it easier on yourself. Keep your phone out of your bed. Use an app that block those websites. Avoid being alone with easy access during your week time. And that's what I say to you. It happened to me quite often. Sometimes I feel very horny, or I want to have sex, and I would text someone. Let's say that was a long time ago. I haven't done that because now I can control that. But I text someone, and then I'm like, oh, I really want to have sex with you. And then the time she reply, I have a little wank, and then I'm like, oh, fuck. I should have not done that. So don't rely on your pulsion. Just, I don't know, do some stuff. Do something else. When you feel that, instead of like, fuck, I need to do it, do something else. So replace the habit. That's the key number three. Instead of like, I'm going to go straight away for that, exercise. Do 10 to 15 minutes. That can help. And the exercise can be just simple as going for a walk, gaming, reading, talking to someone. Like they say, cold shower. If you, yeah, cold shower. Yeah, it would slow you down, but That's a bit of a bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. Set a realistic limit. Don't go for 100 to 0. So don't go like, if you do that 5 times a week or 10 times a week, don't go from 10 times a week to suddenly 0. It won't work. It would never work. If you do that in anything in life, pornography or masturbation or anything in life, is like CrossFit. If you go from, I'm doing 7 sessions a week, really intense, from 0 to 7 sessions, you won't last long. You would explode. You would blow up. So that's exactly the same. Register frequency gradually. No porn days. So let's say you have an agenda and you put like Monday I work, Tuesday I don't, Wednesday I don't, Thursday I will, and create that day. And when you're gonna accomplish that little task, you would feel good of yourself. Break the shame cycle. Feeling guilty often make you cycle worse. You feel bad, you escape, you repeat. Instead of treat it like a habit, you're improving a personal failure. Basically, is as I say, it's like a roller coaster a little bit. Like you keep on rolling. Like that is, you feel bad, you escape, then you repeat. You feel bad. When you feel bad, you escape, then you repeat, and then keep on going. So, breaking the shame cycle. Stay busy, and that's a fucking true reality. When you are busy, your mind is not focusing on that. And don't tell me wrong, a lot of people have those thoughts during the day, like of, if I see, I don't know, a beautiful woman, or you girls see a beautiful man walking, maybe you have the thought of like, I'm a bit horny now. But if you are focused and stay busy on your goal, on a social time, with some hobby, you won't have that thought quite often. 7, track your progress. Keep simple track of what you do. Notice improvement in your mood, energy, and focus. That's going to be a big factor. If you need to, you can get some support. Someone can help you with those pulsion, those how to control it. I'm not a sexologist. I'm not a therapist, so I don't know what could help you, but there is plenty of stuff that could help you. And pornography is not bad if you don't abuse it. But it's like everything. 1 drink is not bad. 10 is bad. You know what I mean? Honest truth, you won't eliminate the urge completely, and that's normal. The win is not acting on every fucking urge. It's like when you feel the pulsion of having sex and feeling this dopamine level, take a big deep breath, focus on something else, and you'll see when you don't do it, you're like, I achieved something today. I'm really proud. I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's basically what I can tell about porn, guys. I don't know if you have any question. If you think this podcast make you realize that you have a porn addiction, and if you do have a porn addiction, it's possible to solve it. I hope that you understand that if you're in a relationship, porn is not a bad thing as well. You can watch porn with your partner, and that can create some play and whatever. But communication about those stuff is really important. I mean, communication in a relationship is super important anyway. Porn-wise, food-wise, anything. So that was episode number 13, porn addiction, or porn only. I hope you like this one. That was an interesting one. I was surprised on some stat that we've got here. Very interesting topic, because I consume porn. I consume sex. And it's important to understand that sometimes it's not bad, and not blaming yourself when you do it. You know, like I used to be this kind of guy. Of when I was doing it, I was like, especially in a relationship, I was like, oh, fuck, you're a bad guy. You shouldn't do that. It's not bad sometimes. If you talk with your partner about it, to say, sometime I do it. And if she's okay with that, cool. If she's not okay, talk with your partner and make things work. Makes things work. You don't have to fucking go to porn. If you have your partner, is way more pleasant than a fucking screen, I feel. Personal opinion. Remember, guys, we always close this podcast with build your mind, grow your life, and that's a true reality of life. If you can have the control of your mind, your life can be incredible and very powerful. On the next episode, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, so that's going to be a surprise for you guys and a surprise for me. I'm going to look around what topic would be interesting. But don't forget, if you have any question to ask to Jen Ryder when I'm going to bring her into the podcast, comment here, or you can go a little bit more personal into the DM of Iron Mind, the podcast, on Instagram, and we're going to have an incredible moment with Jen Ryder. I don't know when I'm going to bring her in. I need to buy another mic, and that's not that cheap, so that's the reason why I still don't have Jen here. But I will bring Jen at some point, and we will do an incredible podcast. Guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching every week. And I am very grateful from this journey, and I learned so much about myself. And I hope that makes you realize plenty of stuff as well. I hope if you listen to it, you don't do it just because I'm your friend. I hope you like it. And if you have some feedback to give me, if you want to help me growing this podcast and be better with the podcast, I'm open to any type of thing. Remember, porn is not bad for you. A little wank is not bad for you, but you need to know how to control it, like everything in life. See you in the next episode, guys.